rongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hooker force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody, gather up close everybody. Kani move that body, kani move that body.
O kia tupu, kia hua, kia pua wa exposure. Positive exposure.
Kia ora.
You know, to the thing that they're coming into. Whether it's in there, positive exposure there, out there, you know, wherever. Hey, if all you're doing is coming in and doing the mopping like they will be doing right now, positive exposure to that little thing is a thing. Then we experience is the next part that says that with the positive exposure you offered the opportunity to have a jam at it. You know, you have a jam at that thing, you know, and see, figure it out. And then for rangatahi, it's excitement. Excitement, if you don't get your kicks out of it, I'm out. You know, and that excitement usually is, you got 15 seconds or 15 minutes to create that. But once they got it, it's on. You know, it's on, and then things can flow from their, you know, their minds, their perspectives. But those three things, if you got those right, it's pretty cool. And I want to say that in a few of the areas that we've been bringing rangatahi through, I've cracked it. You know, we've cracked it, and big mihi out to our young ones who continue to just jam because of the excitement that it brings, the experience that they're having, and the positive exposures that they're you know, into. See.
And they're saying, you know, tērā whakaritinga i tēnā parts a lot.
Everything.
Everything.
Well, koe
Me ngā adults.
E tahi. E whakaro ki ana ki te maitiko whakatupiria ki te marae, ki te hapu. Ana kākona ia e tahi tikanga whakahaere. E tai ana ia ki waho atu nei i te pā, i te marae. You know, these are life experiences. And you know, ko te tirohanga o te tamaiti, kāre kone atu tana ihu. But then they, like you said, you don't know you're being groomed or broomed until ka tai ana koe ki te wā. You're doing it, you know. So very, very useful things. You know, these aren't just big huis for the sake of it, but e tika korana mo te succession and just positive exposure. Pai tērā kōrero.
I think it's, you know, when I look back at the things that happened mai te wā I orai, koriki, Kīngi koriki, ko tā mātou mahi hei te kauta. I kite au ki ngā mahi o ngā wāhine, o ngā tāne, o ngā tamariki. So we used to sleep under the stage in hay. And then we would end up having to maybe set the first meal for breakfast, maybe say about 8 o'clock. We're rolling into lunch and we're rolling into tea. And then we're getting ready and we haven't eaten. We haven't eaten. And that's about, you wait for the last. You wait for the last. As I grew up, I didn't like that idea. You know, I didn't like that idea. To me it was slow. To me it was slow. And it was about, am I going to change this tikanga and who's going to whack me if I change it? You know, so I look at what is easier, not only for me, is easy for our people. And in those days also, tamariki running around in the dining room, you got the stick. You know, you got the stick. They whack you, and then tamariki having to wait until the end to eat.
That's right. That's right. I was one of those tamariki.
Yeah. So I spent a bit of time in the armed forces, and when we go to the mess, and there was a process that they did, and I went, wow, Because I know my dad says, wherever you go, you must come back and spend time at the koroneana. I couldn't go stay. I had to promise. I spent time and I thought, I'm going to try the army way.
Kia ora.
You know, try the army way
Aneki.
because it took too long to set a whole table up, everything, and then you have to clear the table away. People are still waiting outside. And then you got to put all these, and then you roll
We
them
went to
in
around
again.
people here, if me kare kia tai mai
Yeah.
ki te koronei hana, ki tētai momo tangihanga pēnei i te
Ai.
tani whamomona o te tau, ka ngaro. Ko te mano tangata.
Ai.
You know, this isn't like an ope of 100, which might be a big ope on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Like, you think, they're not all going to fit through the gate. You know?
Yeah.
So, kia moe mai koutou. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and my auntie was running the show. She's one person that is my way or no way. So I used my son, which was Hemo Momokai, to soften her up. To soften her up. So how we do it now within our dining room works faster. We don't close the doors.
Yeah.
We just roll it. Everyone comes in. When you have people at the door and they think, oh, there's too many of us, until they open the door and see how we roll. There's one thing that I felt in that system was you have to put your place into where if you went somewhere, do you want to wait that long to get a kai? Then I prefer to go home. And that's not us. So we try and look for ways. Another one is, okay, tamariki has to leave the dining room. I changed that. Why? It's how are they going to learn? You know, how are they going to learn?
How
So
do they get that
in our
experience?
time and within my parents, tamariki was hidden underneath the table and they just shoot underneath the table. When they feed, they bend down and then feed them with their, you know, feed them. And it was like that all the time. So I wanted to bring it back in a way that in the past, the parents would worry about their tamariki while they're working. They didn't know where they were outside. They didn't know they knew that they didn't have a kai. It was more or less, if I look after our tamariki, I get better mahi out of the parents. Because they'll know, oh, well, they're fine. They're fine. So I would, I implement that. My Auntie Sally didn't like that because she's a, tikanga and don't like tamariki around. This is the cope-up with how do we teach them. For me is how do we teach them and to want to be here. I vowed never to be as cruel as my auntie. I think I nearly got there. And I won't back down on what I believe is the right way. And like Huirama said, I've softened because I'm asking now that I've got supervisors, I ask for options. If they have an issue, then come with the rongoa.
Kia ora.
Yeah, come with the rongoa. Don't expect me to make the rongoa, to fix it up. But I expect them to play a role, to make sure it's tika. Because this is not a place when you have to feed thousands to get it wrong.
Kia ora.
You can't.
No margin.
So the play role is good because it gives the, I suppose, the successors a chance to, maybe I'm good at the job. But I can be a bit forceful.
No. Persuasive.
Just, it's like, think about it. And when I know it's going to go wrong, I said, back to the drawing board, it's going this way. And then we come back together and we wānanga about where do you think it went wrong and why do you think it went wrong?
Yeah.
So it's not about cutting them off and not realising where the error is. But you have to have a mind frame as I've done that before, but it didn't work because of this.
Yeah.
So you've suggested that. I'm going to let you get into that mistake so you understand where it went wrong.
Rather than Māori tērā.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to know, like, what happens in the dungeon? I've heard of this dungeon.
The dungeon tells us whether we're running out of cooked kai. For me, it's the dungeon. It's like, the Mokpok gang, the Ruru. They have a role. The Ruru gang, they up at about 3 in the morning. The next morning, the marae is clean. And you don't see the Ruru.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The K-pop gang, they're out there doing the K-pops.
Mattresses.
Yeah.
Mattresses.
Oh, yeah. Mattresses.
Yeah.
I had a K-pop pillow.
Yeah. Each one had a role. The dungeon is cold. When you're working down there, it's quite cold. And a lot of it is about the veggies, getting all the veggies done, getting the meat, following the menu, knowing how much you have to make for this number of people. So it has to be an understanding between the dungeon, the cooks, and myself in the dining room.
Cool.
So if I seat 800 in the dining room and I look at the crowd and I have a way how I can count how many, and that's just using my hand. I put my hand out and I count all the people.
She was out there.
So, and depending on the distance, I put my hand and I count the amount of people within my hand. I go, okay, 10, 20, 30, and then I bring it around to, if I bring it around to like 800, I add on 300 because I got to feed the workers.
Yes.
That goes on top of it. 300, I take that to the cooks. The cooks take it down to the dungeon. The dungeon knows what they have to prepare and how much to do it.
Wow.
So it changes. The menu changes. We might say we have steak. Halfway through, steak is turned into fish.
Yeah.
It's
I
about... It's better. A lot of our food are koha food.
Yeah.
So rather than buy it, our menu fits the koha kai.
Yeah. Got to use what you've got.
Yeah.
Who does the groceries? Is that someone's job? Or?
Everyone has a job in their own sense. We have one in Tūrangawaewae. She's a great caterer. I suppose she's a caterer in her own sense. And then she will look at, this is the amount of food we need. Way back when, we used to get it from Gilmore's, knowing that we can return it. That no longer happens. We can't return. As soon as we open, we can't return. So we have to be careful in how we buy.
I think I've said this before, I'm not sure on Taringa, but I know ko maharape koe auntie. It was te uunga o te reki nui, and I had to run the message down. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But he remember ngā kōrero. Haere ki te kawe, I come down. I got to the driveway. The 2 containers from Mangai Paho had just turned up. E kia nei te kai, and then that kuia Pākehā had turned up. And she came with a plate of biscuits.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And I thought,
It happened again yesterday.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you mihi koe ki aia.
Aye.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll
he
send
nui,
these to Tūrongo.
Yeah.
And I just thought, it was unbelievable because I can still see it. The 2 containers of kaimoana.
Yeah.
And then this kuia Pākehā He
Yeah.
just baked these biscuits. I runga I te aroha.
Anzac shortbreads.
Yo.
Nah, they weren't.
Hope they were Afghans.
Nah, yeah, I think they were Afghans. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think koera te mea, Avery. Like, it's acknowledgement, you know, because it, koera ta ki, you know, ea te mea he tangata noho te Kīngi tanga mea, you know. And
It's not
then,
somebody, it's a something.
it's a something, baby. Yeah. And all of the, like, it's huge acknowledgements to all the koha that comes through, you know. And then that's all I'm saying, well, you could be the receiver of the koha at times. These are all the jams around. And then the one who's got to go and do the, you know, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Or
You know, te iti matarahi,
Yeah.
you know, a plate of biscuits, and it was those biscuits that had a cream in the middle, and it was 12. 12 biscuits. I didn't reach the dungeon. It was gone. You know, 12 biscuits. Okay, some people say, look at the people we have, the fact that it was a koha.
Yeah, koea.
Yeah.
And it came with love.
That would have been daunting coming into.
Yeah.
Quick, I seen you checking your phone if so we're mindful of our time and what you need to
Don't
do.
you worry, she was just...
walk off.
Yeah. I korora a koe mo tētahi wā I kōrero te ai e huki te rangi. Mo te aho kai.
Oh, yeah.
Ai I ngā wā omua.
Yeah.
What's some of the kai that you don't see too much now that comes through?
Cookie.
Corky, oh, yeah.
Cookie?
I was just going to say
Oh, yeah.
that.
Yep.
Smell of
The
the
shark.
food.
Oh, reminds me of kawhia sand.
Oh.
But, you know, you were at the time, you know, e toru ngā wao, ngā ariki. Yeah, what has changed and what type of kai that you seen then and you'd like to see again or you really see it up there as koki?
The cookie and dried white bait in boil-up. He did it.
Yeah, ki roto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think I caught that one.
my job when I was a kid was when my parents would get white bait and I'd use a flax and I had to
Wow.
put the white bait and
Thread
then
them
hang it
into
up
the-
on the line in the
wow.
sea and then they would be rock hard. We rock hard, we leave it there and we have a boil up, put everything in and then we just strip the white bait in the boil up.
Like dried anchovies and all that.
Yeah.
Dehydrated kais.
Those
Yeah.
shrimps and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. We still carry on with the kānga.
Aye.
Yeah, we still have the kānga. What's the matter? Oh, shark.
Yeah.
I can't stand shark.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah, you know. And the good thing about it, I think, when we go out to pokai, each pokai has a specialty.
Aye, kia ora.
Hey, has a specialty. So I only go to the pokais with the... Yeah. And you know what? There's a lot of them. Because you can't... It brings back memories.
Was that
Did you know?
Pokai tuatai ki Hoturo, hey? Like, this year you came,
Yes.
hey, it was the first time you come to Hoturo.
That was... No, the first time I went was...
Or was it the birthday?
Yes.
Yeah, the birthday.
It was the birthday.
135 years.
Yeah.
So because I was telling them when my mum and auntie, when they were little, and during June, July, one of our karawa lived up in the bush with my karawa's sister, and they'd bring all the kīrero down to Wairaka. All the fat ones came here. Yeah, and I said, for what you guys, I don't know. We just knew they're going to Waikato, and we'd be left the other ones, but we didn't eat them. We'd give them to the old people. And then it sort of like hung that memory roto e whakaro. And then one day I pātai kia huki te rangi. I said, what are one of your memories of your memory about ko Nana? And he goes, oh, nā kai. And he said, no te puha, wēnei. He says, ia koutou. And because Mum always talked about sugar bags.
Sugar bags.
Kīrero, sugar bags. He goes, ia koutou, ka taumai ngā kīrero i ngā sugar bags. And I had a little tear. Yeah, because it was like, oh. But I knew, then when they lived in the homestead, one part of the garden was always for kōrero.
Aye.
Yeah, they didn't go. But koera moio up mo te kōrero hana tērā o Kīngi kōrero. Yeah. And e pērā tonu ana.
Yeah.
E tahi o nā, you know, just sort of maybe the context change with things, how people contribute, eh? Like, you know, mohi au, nā marae tata, ngā marae o Ngāti Mahanga nei, e tai they're all baking,
Yeah.
sandwiches over there, and all, haere mai ana e ngā marae.
E mahara ki tētai iwi, ko tā rātau, ko te pata, ka haere ki i a whare,
Yeah.
ka tumina tētai auna pata. You know, I was like, wow. You know?
E te haere tonu tērā mahi mai Hauraki.
Te wā I neke ai te koro nei hana I wāhi ki konei.
Kia ora.
Oh, what?
Māki tērā.
See? Pulling rank.
Persuasive.
I think there's a, he mea,
Interesting.
kare tērā e moho ana.
Koena tētahi pātai ki tōku pāpa, ki tōku whaekeke. Hea te tikanga, hea ai ka neke te koroneihana ki Tūrangawaewae. E ni mea mai te matu keke a Tūmate, me tōku pāpa, anei. Wāhi pā was in a time of fixing up, renovating around the area. Te Poia came and said to his cousin, so Te Poia and Tūmate, which is the son of, Te Poia Tonga, aroha mai. Te Poia is a cousin to Tunga, who is the son of Mahuta, and said, bring the koronei hana to Tūrangawaewae, Tūrangawaewae, until you've completed, and then you can have it back. Koena te, I ai ngā kōrero potamai, and then you can have it back. And her cousin Tonga knew once she took it, it will never come back.
E koe tērā ne.
Yeah, koena. So there was conditions.
Yeah.
There was conditions during the
Here we go.
koroneihana.
Yeah.
Wāhi pā will come up and run it.
Oh.
And his uri would lead it.
Nā tātou te ui
Koena.
mahi marae.
Man.
You know?
So that was the condition. That is why ia tau, ka hare mai a wāhi. Hei kai mahi, hei whakarite, e rā mea katoa. Rere kē nai nei, aroha mai.
No need
So,
to...
when did the koroneihana move from Wāhi?
Yeah, what year was
In the
it?
40s.
Oh, so not long after the war though, eh? If you need to
No,
go,
they
auntie...
filming me.
You've been called.
Yeah, it's sort of been cool that can wait. Because this is to me, this is a history that all our tamariki needs to know.
Kia ora.
And you know,
Te iwi.
Yeah,
Te iwi
yeah.
pāni.
yeah.
It's how it was done. And we've done it ever since then, e Huirama. Wāhi always come up. Mai rāno, Wāhi would look after Kimura, the Kouta, and Tūrangawaewae worked on the outside. And they led it. As time went, it was about, hey, whanaunga. We all want whanaunga, that's mahitahi. And that's where Tūrangawaewae start coming up. So when you say the dungeon and you talk about the mahi that's outside, there was a building then, and it's called Akara. It was outside another kai, and that's where Tūrangawaewae fed. When we had, and Kimura is built, that side of the window facing the river is called Akara. Bringing all those.
And that's one whānau's responsibility, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything within the koroneihana will have the breakdown, and Huirama is in charge of getting the breakdown, having the plans where the table should go. It's a measure of where the tables will go, and it's taped on the floor because it won't fit otherwise.
Ah, yeah.
So
He
that
hewi moho.
Iwi mohi.
yeah, and that's what rangatahi, their responsibility. Ka hui rangatahi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At the time. And then I got Waikiri, the whānau from Waikiri, after Huirama has completed. Yeah, they come in. They come in early hours in the morning, and then they set the tables ready for breakfast. By that time, my workers then get up, it's all set. All we have to do is get it ready. So each marae had a role, and that's how we try and bring in the kotahitanga and trying to...
I just want to chip into Auntie Ine, because e toko mā e mātakitaki ana. Kare kore kotai ke mai ia tau ki te kona ana. And you'll see, what's the name of my uncles that do the ushering and the Sam?
Ushers.
Yeah, ushers. What's this? They've been doing that since I was a boy.
Wow.
He, tani whai kōrero era.
Ai.
But everyone in this system being an usher. You know, kare he, you know, there's no, quote the usher, and, you know what I mean? And it's very, I didn't realise how hard it was for someone to leave, to gate, left the kitchen. And she'd served for years. I grew up, like, I ki tau ia e pakeke nei, I roto ia ki miora. And, you know, te taiwa e kia says, kua tai pēr ki te wā, kia haere mai koe ki te paukai, ki te paipai. E mua koe ki nā weata. She's like, oh. And I know it was a big thing. Hey, those are all important.
Those are important. And what's great to understand in the tangata whai kōrero, e mahi ushering, no one's bigger.
No, no one's bigger. Ko tai ana ki te mea bigger.
Ai.
Yeah. No one's, no.
Titles.
No,
You know,
that's right.
they don't mean, you know, I mean, if you walk in, if you're walking past the plates and the plate needs to go to the kitchen, pick the plate up. Hey, you know, it's not the girl in the white has to do that. Thing. Nah,
That's their role.
Yeah.
I'm
You know, you
above
go,
that.
Anna. Yeah. Far out.
I remember one year, I was rangatai and tried another system of ushering everyone out, and it was a fail, but changed very quickly.
Yeah, I think you know, what helps the most now is these. Those. You can't hear, and the directive is the lead of the ushers have to know the flow. Have to know the flow and how to work. And I suppose direction is important.
Oh, yeah.
But it also, the whakarongo. Sometimes I will call, is he blind or is he deaf? You know, one or the other, because they're not reacting. But when I want to speak, I expect someone to answer. Otherwise, my radio's broken. It's stressing every day. But at the end of the day, you feel good because people left good. And leave the ready for the next day.
Well, after I saw you, I went and Hinirangi was on Prani or Rauraweti. And asked, what do you first do? She goes, we pop on salt.
Yes.
And I looked at it and they just all, parking, everything. E mea ana. Hea e tai tips. Me hara mai ana to make, you know, life easier ki te manaki ngā iwi me haere mai ana ki Tūrangawaewae. Kawa ki te uunga o tō tātou ariki ana ke engari, you know, kamiti koro nei hana e tai.
Hey, don't get so overwhelmed. Be calm. Be slow. You know, be fast when Auntie says hurry up. But just I mean, rushing's just gonna get you to an accident quickly.
Kills.
And so just you know, sort of just be calm. I think the marae are so out there at the moment, they're all so out there now, that some just want to come to the thing,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
not the thing,
Yeah.
Hey, and they just want to experience this
Yeah.
thing. And I mean, come, you know, not saying not to, but doesn't it's could be the Disneyland of your or your dreams, and then quickly become something else when you get that little growling. Hey, and all of a sudden all your dreams is gone. But I think just expect to be looked after. And the way in which we look after it might not be the way in which you know you know it to be, but we know a particular way, and we try our utmost, you know, to achieve that every setting, every time, every setting, every time the knives and forks are changed, you know, with the same aroha that it was when the hall was empty. Want to say out here to, you know, those fellas putting out the seats, I mean, shit, bro, they're tribal board members.
Exactly.
So you gotta go here, here titles, but you know, just try to just be amongst it. I think, I mean, it's sometimes gonna rain, and common sense tells you to bring an umbrella. Like the pānui don't need to tell you that. You know, just like any pōwhiri, the ones over here try to be the best tangata whenua that they can, or you know, host, and also as a manuhiri be the best manuhiri that you can.
Your responsibilities as manuhiri by tika tēnā.
Just that. And nowhere, I don't think it's different for any other marae. It's just that there's this big thing about this one, eh? And the key tagline is mo te ao katoa.
Kia ora.
And so, you know, mo tātou katoa. And pēra, I don't know if those are tips, but those are
I think the considerations to be mindful of.
Good consideration.
You know, good tips is don't let the male design the kitchen. Especially if you don't cook.
we've experienced a couple of kitchens like that when you need the taxi or the Uber to drive it from where it's being cooked to where it needs to get served all the way out there. Yeah, too big, too far apart. You know, all those little things.
We got one with the kitchens we get in the wharekai.
Yeah. Here we go one line.
Ko tāku, ko ngā mihi o ngā kaimahi katoa. Ko te nuinga o rātou, e haru tāwhiti mai.
Kia ora.
Mō te kaupapa. It was, to me, it's not about you done well. I couldn't have done well without o kaimahi. They put me up there on the pedestal, so it's not about me. It's about the whānau.
Kia ora.
And it's about what it has to come down in history. Every child has a history that they bring out the good of their parents, even if they turn out to be kino. But they tend to bring the goodness out when we come together and mahi like this. Whānau's whānau. But koena tāku ngā mihi ki ngā tāngata katoa a whenua te kaupapa.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kōrero
Koena?
kōrero?
Well, I'm just thinking about, you know, you two working at this big marae. I just had this thought, when you get to the smaller marae, you must think,
No,
No.
It's like, oh, that's great. You know, it's great. We don't have to walk miles, one.
Yeah.
And two, you make do with what you have. You don't have to don't need to have to flash his house to make it feel like
I
a
tell
home.
you,
Kia ora.
i te huri tau, I mihi koe ki e tai. You just said, oh, that was lovely. Because they're mohana taku iwi ko ai koe.
Yeah.
And they say, ati koe. You know, just to say that. So, nā kare te iwi e pera. Yeah. I think that would be the same if you like, yeah. Nah, and it was. I want to say one thing with my, you know, e takoto mai ne tō tātai Kīngi. It hadn't hit me. When I got here, it was like a zombie apocalypse out there because the wardens and, you know, two of my cousins are, well, I think they have a competition, koete, me teitei, I ngā Māori warden. And I thought, where'd you say korona ana? I sorted it out, you know. It was like a zombie apocalypse, the parking and stuff. King Street over here. I remember one day going, come on, cuz, just finished it. And he turned and he was crying.
Oh, yeah.
They all were. And I thought, oh, tika, you know. And, yeah, that was the te rangi tuatai. Well, te rangi puta mai te Kīngi takoto ai I te maha o mai nārangi. And I thought, oh, hell yeah. You know, and tēnei thing, koera. Ai, tangihanga, and then, oi, mai te mahi. Yeah, but it was like a zombie apocalypse when I arrived. Yeah. Yeah, and someone the speaker said today, I nā nahi noi ho I konei e tangihanga I te reki nui.
Oh.
Maybe yesterday, ka puta tērā, kaumata. I nā nahi noi ho I konei. I thought, yeah, no. It was out of a way to put it, but I understood what he meant.
Yeah.
Because in a blink, 18 years is gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And,
He didn't seem that,
you know, we always come to this kāinga over there. Mai te matenga o te reki nui, koe rato mātai kāinga. E nā mātai tamariki nei, kua tupu ake ki roto. And koro nei hana, mai te wā o te matenga o te reki nui, he kāinga tō mātai, kaere mai tai ki te mahi. And it's just the do. Yeah. You're not out of park there. It's not for that. And tuihine mo koe. No, it's not a parking zone. You come here with the kaupapa.
Yeah.
You know what? No, you're not here for the thing.
Yeah,
Take your car down.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. And koe nei tētai ahuatanga a tāhua, ana koe nei e kōrero nei te kotahita. Yeah. I mean, we've seen heaps of us just in 3 days in the shed.
Yeah.
Cousins coming in, aunties, and
yeah.
like, one seeing me. Why ain't seeing you in ages? Oh. Ana. E takoto mai nei tō tātai Kīngi. So e mihi ana kia kōrua.
Kia ora.
Yeah. Ka nui te mihi. And I know it's still early. Ka tuku ia engari. Hata tata wai. He wai ata?
He waiata.
E pai ana. Mai o aere tā māku.
Se, ki tā. Ngā huirama.
Cuz.
Or shamanan. Do a thing one, you know.
Kare aku waiata.
Te marama I te pōnei, ngā whetū I te rangi, o ake I te ao nei, papaki kau ana me pewhi arai, he mutu ai te aroha, me rukuruku pēra, ngā wai o wai katoe. Me rukuruku pēra, ngā wai o wai katoe. Kora ngā tira a Taringa I a kōrua, tēnā watu kōrua.
Tēnā kōrua.
O tira, e te winui tonu.
Kia ora.
Tēnā tātou. I te ahuatanga ki tō tātou Kīngi, kia Kīngi Tūheitia Pōtatau te Wherowhero. Te tuawhitu e takoto nei I tō tātou marae. Me taku whakapono, ka tautoko I ai tēnei ahuatanga I te mea. I Kīngi, manaki ngā whakaaro hou, whakamātautau. I te wā, I toko ake te whakaaro I mahara, he tika nā nei. Kia pēnei, kareo I rongo I te me taku puku e mea nā. Kāri te tika. Nō reira, I runga I tērā, e mihana kia tātou. Huri huri, pai mārire, kia ora tātou katoa.
Yeah.